No.
Hello.
Oh,
Hello.
And we're back.
Okay, are we still flogging the dead horse?
Yes.
Dead horse? Alright.
We've been doing that for about 9 months now.
Yes. My explanation?
Yes.
Okay, flogging the dead horse
Yes.
is a phrase which describes unnatural and unnecessary violence,
Yes.
extremely cruel violence.
Right.
It comes from flogging, which is to beat or whip or kick or wallop or anything, which people obviously do to horses,
Yes.
you know, when they're racing them.
Yes.
And when someone flogs a dead horse, useless because it can't run any faster. So that's where the term comes from, and
Yes.
people use it like, see that guy hitting that small child while stealing his candy. Ah, check him out, he's flogging a dead horse.
Right.
So
That's it.
if it's extreme violence, guys,
Extreme and
if
not
it's
so much
unna-
extreme, but
if I can,
unnecessary.
If I can just ask you a question,
Yes.
Yeah.
if it's unnatural violence, would that mean the horse was
Unnecessary.
alive at the beginning of the
No,
the beating,
no,
and then
no.
he just continued to beat it after it was dead?
No, it's not when he's alive.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
That's it.
Well, my explanation, which may or may not be the actual where it comes from, right,
Can't see.
Not
that.
visible, Joe.
Oh no.
is that in maritime days, the ships would pull up to the wharf, and the captains would come aboard, and they would draft people from the sailors and roustabouts and layabouts from the harbour who were just hanging around with nothing better to do but graft and sodomy. So they'd put them on their ships and take them off to work for them, but they would pay them a stipend every month, and the first payment they would give them in advance, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they were known as horses, because they were just on board just to do menial work, but they would give them their first payment in advance, and inadvertently these sailors would spend the entire pay on drugs and grog and whores.
Yeah.
Because if they were capable of saving their money or wiser financial planning, they wouldn't be hanging around the wharves all day, would they? They'd be captains of industry. So it was known that you couldn't ask someone to do any more than the bare minimum for the first month, because he'd already been paid. So he was only going to do what was absolutely required of him, knowing that he would not be paid any more or less for that month, no matter what he did. So you would say, asking that man to go and get the dishes after dinner, that's flogging a dead horse, that is. I.e. that man is not going to do anything, because at least what's absolutely required of him, because he's a dead horse, he's already been paid. And at the end of that month, they would take a symbolic dead horse and lower it into the water, symbolising that the horses on board were no longer dead, and that they could now do their proper amount of work. And it was a ceremony which said to everyone, haha, merry happy celebration, now get ready to actually do your fucking job.
Oh, cool. I like it.
Okay.
I like it too.
That's real.
Is it really?
Yes, that's where the phrase actually comes from.
That's fantastic.
Yep.
Really?
Yep.
No.
Yes. I knew you were going to get like this, and yes, it is. It's where it comes from. I read it.
I don't mean to be like that, Tom. I just think a different interpretation.
Well, I'm sure you do, but many people, this is why this article was saying that many people have a different interpretation, but here's the actual etymology it was saying.
Oh, smoke on my arm.
I thought too.
Is
I
the smoke
thought
coming
that
out of the back
flogging
of
a
the
dead
laptop?
horse
No, there's beer on the
meant testing something beyond the point of its usefulness. And I was surprised to find that that's not what it means.
Testing it.
Yeah, like testing, like as in, asking more of it than can be possibly reasonably expected.
Well, my basic Pygmalion style interpretation was always just that it was just wasting time. Like it wasn't getting you anywhere.
Well, can I judge which one's the best?
Well, you can.
Mine.
Well, obviously.
Well, if it wasn't the original one, I think that the best explanation would be Joseph's.
Yep.
Actually. Yeah.
What was my one?
Good work, Joe.
I can't remember.
I
It was
can't
good.
remember either.
No.
Well, it was about selling something vigorously.
Oh,
viciously.
yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Shall we have internet.com and then come back with a closing song?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Joseph, can you go to the
Internet.com, cyber.
Cyber.
This month's site is northpole.com,
Oh, okay.
which is a fictional repository for Father Christmas related knowledge. I didn't find anything out about it from it this month, but I'm sure that if you went to it, you could find out about Father Christmas and his wife Mrs. Claus and their present making, and
See if Danny's information was factually inaccurate.
possibly even the Krampus, but I doubt it because he's too awesome to be on such a
Doubt
site.
it.
The
I-
Krampus!
I give northpole.com 4 stars out of 20
No,
Not
that's
great.
not too good.
because I don't like the colour scheme.
Oh,
Pardon me?
okay, fair enough.
Mm.
So what is
What are the
does-
colours?
Blue.
Is North Pole active all year round? Like, can I also always find information about it, or does it
Yeah.
close for like
I hope so.
11 months? a
No,
year?
I mean, you know, web space is web space. It's just there. It's not like that. Well, it's not like they say, hang on, there's a couple of megabytes which could be used storing pornography here. Let's take down northpole.com. Because then the consequence of that would be that around Christmas, when the nerds are at their loneliest, there would be a couple of megabytes less pornography in the world.
Now I'm just wondering,
Yep.
what is the correct web address? Because I'm afraid that I could actually find pornography if I tried to type it in and go to it.
Is
Well,
it
if you
hippity
tried to
tippity
find pornography.
www.northpole.com?
North Dash Pole or just
No,
North Pole?
North Pole.
Okay.
NORTHPOLE.
Alright.
Are we going to come back with our closing
Yep.
segment?
Well, this isn't getting too long. It's only like 4 minutes.
Really? What's the time now?
400 seconds. That's not 4 minutes.
That's not 4
For
minutes,
8?
No, no.
No.
And when we come back, we'll have a surprise song from
Forced.
live from Jose's house band, Forced. See you then.
Featuring Dan
Yeah.
on guitar.